The soft hum of a distant train vibrated through the cool evening air as Emma Hayes flipped through the mail on her doorstep. Amidst the usual bills and coupons, her fingers paused on a plain white envelope with no return address. The handwriting on it was unfamiliar, yet eerily deliberate. Curiosity and a tinge of unease tugged at her as she opened it. Inside was a single photograph of her younger self, barely 18, standing outside her old high school. Beneath the photo, scribbled in a hand she didn't recognize, were the words, "Do you remember what you left behind?" Emma's breath caught. Memories she had buried deep began to resurface, of a reckless summer, whispered promises, and a decision that had haunted her every night since. She folded the photo and tucked it back into the envelope, her heart pounding. Her husband Daniel noticed her pale expression as she entered the kitchen. "You okay, Em?" "Yeah," she replied too quickly, plastering on a smile. "Just junk mail." But she knew it was anything but. 2 weeks passed and Emma couldn't shake the unease. She kept the photograph hidden in her dresser drawer, but its presence loomed over her. Then one evening, as she prepared dinner, the doorbell rang. Opening the door, Emma found herself face to face with a young woman. She looked to be in her early 20s, with chestnut hair that fell in waves around her shoulders and striking hazel eyes that mirrored Emma's own. "Can I help you?" Emma asked, though she already suspected the answer. The woman hesitated, her hands twisting nervously. "Are you Emma Hayes?" "Yes. I think you might be my mother." The words hit Emma like a freight train. She stumbled back, her mouth opening and closing, but no sound came out. "My name is Sophie." The young woman continued, her voice trembling. I I was adopted, but I recently found out who you are." Emma gripped the doorframe for support. This isn't possible." Sophie's gaze softened. "I'm sorry to show up like this. I just needed to know." The dinner Emma had been preparing lay forgotten as she and Sophie sat in the living room. Daniel joined them, his confusion evident as Emma stammered through introductions. "I had no idea," Emma admitted, tears welling in her eyes. "I was so young. My parents handled everything. They said it was for the best." Sophie's expression was a mix of understanding and sadness. "I don't blame you. I had to find you." Daniel, ever the steady presence, placed a reassuring hand on Emma's shoulder. "We need time to process this. But Sophie, you're welcome here." As Sophie's eyes filled with gratitude, Emma felt a flicker of hope. Perhaps this unexpected reunion could mend the wounds of the past. Word spread quickly in their small town, as it always did. Emma's mother, Margaret, was the first to call, her tone sharp and accusatory. "How could you let this happen?" Margaret demanded. "That part of your life was supposed to stay buried." "She's my daughter, Mom," Emma shot back. "I can't turn her away." "And what about your family now?" "Your reputation." Emma's resolve hardened. "I'm not ashamed. Not anymore." But the reunion wasn't without complications. Sophie's presence stirred old insecurities, particularly in Emma's teenage son, Josh. "So she just gets to show up and be part of the family?" he said one evening, his voice tinged with jealousy. "She's your sister," Emma replied gently. "This is new for all of us, but we'll figure it out." As Emma and Sophie grew closer, Emma couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to the story. One evening, while sorting through old boxes in the attic, she found a letter addressed to her from the adoption agency. It had never been opened. Inside, she discovered that Sophie's adoptive parents had tried to contact her several times over the years. They had included updates about Sophie's life, photos of her milestones, and even an address where Emma could reach them. Margaret had intercepted every attempt. Rage and heartbreak warred within her. She confronted her mother the next day. "You kept this from me?" Emma demanded, holding up the letters. Margaret's face was unrepentant. "You were better off not knowing. It would have complicated everything. It wasn't your choice to make." Emma's voice cracked. You stole years from me. From us. Despite the rocky start, Sophie's presence became a balm for the Hayes family. She bonded with Josh over shared music tastes and even helped Emma in her small bakery business. Slowly but surely, the fractures in their relationships began to heal. But the journey wasn't without its setbacks. Sophie struggled with feelings of abandonment, and Emma grappled with guilt. Together, they attended therapy sessions, determined to move forward. During one session, Sophie shared something that shattered Emma anew. I, I'm pregnant, she admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. Emma's heart ached. The cycle of generational pain was repeating itself, but this time she vowed it would be different. Sophie decided to keep the baby, and with Emma's unwavering support, she began preparing for motherhood. The Hayes family rallied around her, proving that love and redemption could grow even from the most broken places. On a crisp autumn morning, Sophie gave birth to a healthy baby girl. Holding her granddaughter for the first time, Emma felt a profound sense of closure. The past could not be undone, but the future was theirs to shape. As the family gathered to celebrate the newest addition, Emma glanced at Sophie and said, "Thank you for finding me." Sophie smiled through her tears. "Thank you for letting me in." And with that, the echoes of the past finally quieted, replaced by the harmonious rhythm of a family rediscovered.